Magandang gabi sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Amerika. Good evening dito po sa inyo sa Amerika. Good morning Philippines. Magandang umaga Pilipinas. Thank you so much for being with us here sa PHLV Radio on the air with FACC. It's a Friday once again, and my name is Josie Moralidad Zayman from the Filipino American Cancer Care. Makakasama natin ngayong gabi, syempre, ang ating director, one of the board of directors, Mr. Emerich Richie Vicente. He's running a little bit late, but he will be joining us tonight dito po sa PHLV Radio. And of course, we would like to acknowledge ang ating station manager sa PHLV Radio, Mr. Johan. Pag program tayo, Johan is always there to support and guide us po para sa ating radio show dito sa Las Vegas. Now, before we introduce our special guest tonight, I would like to take this opportunity to invite everyone. Again, we are going to have a fundraising concert by the Rio Brothers. Ang Rio Brothers, sila po yung magkakapatid na biktima ng Typhoon Yolanda doon sa Pilipinas. But they're very talented. Ang ganda ng kanilang mga boses. Their vocals are so incredible and they sound like, okay? Replica sila ng they're the replica of Beatles and Bee Gees. Hindi tong aso ko yung aso ko iba yan eh. Hindi yan siya Beatles, hindi rin siya Bee Gees. Ngayon, may nakita lang siya sa labas, kaya siya nagtatahol. But he also likes to hear, any kind of songs. General, you stay there and be quiet while Mommy is going to have a radio show tonight. And I'm talking about the fundraising concert of the Rio Brothers, which is scheduled on Friday, June 9, 2023. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock pa lang, kailangan nandoon na kayo, In that way, makakita kayo ng maayos and you would be able to meet some new friends doon po sa ating event, sa ating venue sa Octon High School in Octon, Virginia. Ang capacity is 1,200. Now, yung ating mga VIP tickets are all sold out. But then, we still have $68 and $48, yung ticket na general admission. Now, before we continue talking about this fundraising concert by the Filipino American Cancer Care scheduled on June 9, again, nagbabalik. Yan na, si Machete. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. Imagine mo naman yan, He has all the time to do his workout. Ako, wala eh. Kulang talaga. Let's welcome Emerich Richie Vicente. Hi, Emerich.
Hello, good evening, everyone, and good morning sa Pilipinas. Really excited to be here. I'm so excited about our guest today. It's been a long time since the last time I saw her. But I miss you too, Ate Josie. Congratulations on the very successful concert.
Oh, yes. And you know what? We are so grateful, by the way, sa mga nanood ng Philippine Madrigals.
It was a full house.
Unbelievable. And can you believe that, Emerich? We only have 3 weeks to prepare.
Yes.
The beneficiary is the Filipino American Cancer Care. And today, we were able to get that donation of $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and thank you so much to the Philippine Madrigal singers. Ivy, you know what? They're the best. We're having goosebumps when we were watching them inside the church. And not only that, every night, I have to find a sponsor for their dinner because they stayed with us for a week here in Virginia. And these are young kids, millennials, and they have that incredible vocals and performances, very unique. Huh? And they're one of the best choral groups in the whole world. So
Wow.
Yeah.
they are coming back in 2025, and we're
Oh,
thinking
that's
to have
nice.
that at the Kennedy Center.
Nice.
Oh,
That's
Yes.
great.
wow.
Oh my
Did
That's
gosh.
you see
awesome.
did you see the videos that I posted on my Facebook account?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Unbelievable. Not only that, we have our ambassadors, Kay Habana,
Yeah.
soprano and tenor Alan Palacios Chan, and we also have those musicians here in Virginia like Emily Mason and everyone else. It was really a good show, a great show by the Philippine Madrigal Singers. We did not even expect it for 3 weeks, huh? 3 weeks of preparation. And then you had 22 members of the Philippine Madrigal Singers that you have to manage. You have to feed them, you
Wow.
have to house them. But you know what? They had a great time. General, stay in your area of responsibility because right now we're working.
Wow.
Join
That's
us,
amazing.
General. Yeah. Now, General. Rich, would you like to introduce our special guest tonight?
Yes, I would like to introduce our very, very special guest. Her name is Ivette. Ivy is for her nickname, Pray. She is a member of our FACC Board of Advisors. She joined in 2022 of November of 2022. Um, she basically a firm believer that all things happen for a reason. Um, it was just past October 22nd when she met Miss Josie and face to face, and that's because of Isa and Ray and Comienda for introducing them. She had a few conversations and about volunteering and different things that FACC is doing, and voila, there you go, FACC fashion show featuring the Filipino designers. And Ivy was so instrumental with all of the successes that happened in that show.
Mhm.
Very, very, very appreciative of
Mhm.
those.
And the first time
Oh,
you met her, Emerich,
yeah,
what
that was
was
the
your
first time too.
impression? Yeah, what was
Yeah.
your impression the first time you met her?
Oh my God. Oh, I was like, who is that? Parang trumpo. I was like, who is she? Like, oh my God, she's running around. She's getting like very hardworking.
Yeah. And my
And
sister from Canada, oh my gosh, she was telling me like, I would like to have her again next time. Is she going to
yeah,
volunteer?
yeah.
Oh,
And you
And
never complained. Yes, go
but
ahead,
thank you.
Emerich.
I was gonna say like other folks, the other board of directors, it's like, oh, Emily, you're so involved. You're so involved. You're doing a lot of things today. Like I was like, look at her. I was like, look at Ivy. She's been
Oh,
doing more than we do. I was like,
Yeah.
so I just have to do like I just have to match her.
Mm-hmm. And
oh.
remember, at the time, we have more than 110 models.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Unbelievable. And we even have those kids. We have males, we have females, and this year is going to be
Yeah.
if I'm
It was
just
so
going to allow everybody, we're going to have 300 models this year.
Mhm.
oh my gosh.
Okay,
It's
so
gonna be a lot
Emrich,
of fun.
can you please, continue introducing her?
Okay, hold on a second here. So Josie basically asked her to become one of our board member, but and we're gonna talk about the connection on
Mhm.
the cancer survivors and the FACC during the interview. I think that's something that we would
Mhm.
like to hear directly from Ivy. But please welcome Ivy Pray.
Hi, Ivy.
Hi, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for having me.
Your full name is Ivy or Ivette?
Yvette.
Oh,
Yvette.
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 Huh.
Yvette Pray.
Mhm.
My
It's
maiden name
very
was Edeher.
unique. for a Filipino, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, and
Yeah.
there's a little story behind that. That
What's
is
the story?
actually that's actually a combination of my mom and dad's name. So
Mhm.
my dad's first name is Ignacio, so that's where the I comes from. V is for Veronica. E is for Ilamparo, which is my dad's middle name.
Mm.
T is Della Torre, so they don't count the D, they count the T
Mhm.
in Della Torre. And then E is Edeher, which is my maiden name. So that's where Ivettte comes from. My
Wow.
my mom my mom was bored.
How many are you in the family?
Two. I have two. It's myself and my brother.
And your brother.
What's your
And
brother's name?
yes.
Vernon, but there's no
There's no
no
combination.
no.
Mhm.
She was busy with me, so she had to pick up a name real fast.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Did you grow up here in the US or in the Philippines?
So I was actually born in Quezon City, Philippines. And then I came here when I was one, and then went back to the Philippines for my preschool and part of elementary school. And then I came back here when I was 7 or 8.
Mhm.
Wow.
And so I've been here ever since.
And you know, Emerich, she can speak a little bit of Filipino and she
Yeah.
understands it.
Hmm.
That's what I remember because when we were chatting after the show, we were talking Taglish.
Taglish, yeah.
Taglish.
That's exactly it. Yep. So I understand pretty much a good 85 to 90% Tagalog.
Uh-huh.
And then the others I just kind of pieced together just because of the root words.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So
So where are your parents from? What parts of the Philippines?
so my dad is from Zambales,
Uh,
and then my mom is from Manila. So
Mhm.
mhm.
When
so
was the last time you were in the Philippines?
oh gosh. So I was originally supposed to go to UP when I was going to college.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
But yeah, and then my dad said, well, that's far. He didn't want me that far because he was here in the military. So I
Mm.
ended
Uh-huh.
up coming to school here. So I never went back to the Philippines after I came back here when I was 7 or 8. So hopefully in the next year or two, I'll be able to go back because
Mhm.
I don't have to worry about my kids are grown. So I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about school and childcare.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be,
So it's been a while since the
it
last
has
time you
been.
visited. Oh my God, that's gotta be exciting.
Yeah,
Oh
that would
my
Mhm.
be good.
We should
My mom,
go together.
oh, that would be
yeah.
awesome. That
Yes.
would
So
be awesome.
believe it or not, next year it's uh 4 members of my family are graduating. One is gonna be a doctor, one is a pharmacist, one is a business
In the
major, and in
Philippines.
college, yeah.
Oh,
And
you
then
need
one's
to
gonna
go
be
back
Wow.
college.
home, Emerich.
Yeah.
You need
It's
to.
possibly, yeah. Oh yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be that's a milestone for your family to
Yeah.
have four at
Mhm.
the same time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's amazing. So, and I think it's a good reason for visit.
Yeah.
So, family, like talking about family, do you still have relatives in the Philippines? I would assume.
I have actually majority of our family is here in the States.
Okay,
So pretty much everyone that's there would be like distant relatives.
I
Mhm.
see.
But believe it or not, I still keep in touch with some of them. So
Mhm.
Sure.
yeah, so it's
So,
it's actually been nice.
yeah. Who inspired you to become a nurse? Is it your parents?
So there's a story behind them. I was actually I was actually a computer science major when I first started. And then there was a point where I was doing my computer programming. And before it was in the basement of every building, right? The
Yeah.
computer lab was always in the basement of every building. So I was in the basement and I was there for almost 16 hours, I remember. And I thought, I don't know if I could do this because I need to talk to people. I need to be
Mm.
able to interact. And, when you do
Yeah.
computers, you're pretty much in the basement by yourself or parallel with another coworker or another student. And so talked to my dad, and my dad said, well, you can always become a nurse. And I thought, oh, I don't know about that. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go see. And so sure enough, my first year finished, second year finished. Before you know it, I was walking across that stage, and then I had to apply for a job. When I applied for a job, I said, oh gosh, this is really real. Like, I'm really going to have patients. They're not going to be like simulated patients, or I don't have an instructor watching over me. I have nobody. It's going to be me and the patient. Well, 28 years later, here I am.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thriving as a nurse.
Are you the
Thriving as a
first
nurse.
nurse in the family?
So I am the first nurse in, yes, my mom and my dad's family. Um, we have doctors in the family, but I am the first nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So what can you
So
say about your career as a nurse?
I think nursing has opened my eyes to a lot of things. So if anyone's considering nursing, it's definitely not a bad choice, because whatever you learn, you can always take that knowledge and carry it with you through life, right? So you'll learn basic stuff in school and everything like that. Now, as a nurse, I think also it's probably a very flexible career when it comes to having family, because you can work days, evenings, nights. And night shift is what I did for 28 years. It's just now that I'm working day shift, believe it or not,
Mm-hmm.
the past 2 months.
Wow.
And so it's been rewarding for me. There's also different aspects of nursing. So um, I actually did maternal infant care. So I did
Mm.
labor and delivery. Yep. And I did neonatal intensive care, which is the bulk of my nursing career, is dealing with neonates.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just recently transitioned to a program manager um, for my hospital, where I work with physicians and work on data abstracting and hospital transparency.
So what's the most rewarding part of being a nurse?
Oh gosh, there's a lot actually. I think with being a nurse, I do think that you get a lot of non-taxable benefits, you know?
Mhm.
So, like labor and delivery, you get to see the most beautiful thing. You see a baby being born into life, right? And then you have also those moments where you have these families who don't have that opportunity, and you share that slice of their life with them
Mhm.
at the most hardest time of their life, when they don't get to have a live child being born. That also is
Mm.
rewarding, because you are able to hold someone's hand and carry them through, and help them through the most difficult time of their life.
Yeah.
Even in the NICU also, I think watching those little babies, that's probably the size of a bottled water, 500
Mm-hmm.
milliliters equates to 500 grams. We take care of babies that small, and to watch them. And actually, I saw my most recent one is 6 years old.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
So yeah, she was sending me pictures, or her mom was sending me pictures, and she's 6 now, and she's in school and thriving and doing well. So I
Yeah.
think, to me, that's really rewarding, just to see the um the end result of your hard work,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
caring for the patients.
Yeah. Now let's talk about FACC. The
Mhm.
first
Yeah.
time, you volunteered as one of our, supporters and volunteers for the fashion show. What was it like for you? Because for me, it's hard work. It's a lot
Yeah.
of work.
Well, I'm curious, how did you even think about volunteering
Mm-hmm.
to a Filipino American Cancer Care?
Oh, so
On
here, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, on top of, because I think you were night shift
Hmm.
at that time too, because I remember you and I were chatting. It's like, I need to go home. I need to go to sleep. I need to I need
And
to
not
go to
only
bed.
that, Rich, she gave away her luggage to Jay Lyson.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
She came here to give it to Jay Lyson.
Wow.
yeah, Yep. So it's funny because Isa asked me to be a part of it, and she said, "Oh, we need models." And I joined the first meeting, and I thought, "Oh gosh, I don't know if I could do this. I'm not ready for that, but I can help in other ways, but I don't know if I can model." And so Isa was encouraging me to just go ahead and model, go ahead and go model. I said, you know what? I'm not ready for that. Let me go and do something else. I can do something else. So then we agreed that I'll help with the designers, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well,
You
which
were
designer
supposed
do
to
I do?
be assigned only to one designer.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
ended
but
up
that's
helping
okay.
everyone.
Yeah, and it's funny because I didn't know who belonged to who. I just remember this is Jay's rack, and I remember him having his rose gold and gold collection, right? So I need to make sure that those are all squared away, and then um he has like a black and red and gold selection also with blazers and jackets, right? So I thought, okay, let me just go and get this together. I just didn't know who was supposed to wear what, and so he gave me sort of like cliff notes, like a short briefing on which dress is which and how do I know. He had like a little name tag on there and where the pins are, where all of this is. I said, okay, that's not a problem. And so people would come up to me, what's your name? And I'm like, okay, going through that really worked on my memory. I had to really, really, really force my brain to work that day because I'm like, where did I see? Where did I see? I can't remember their names. Let's just say Camille. Where did I see Camille's dress? Is it pink or is it gold? And then I had to go back and like, let me go look and find out the jackets and who was who and what size was which. But it was actually fun. I thought that day, so we had the dress rehearsal the Friday night before, right?
Yeah.
And so Friday night, we were kind of going over some things. And I thought, okay, so we're all going to get, everyone's going to get dressed back here behind the stage, not a problem. And then we took care, we went over things, the dress rehearsal, all that stuff. And then the next day, Saturday, I got up early. I was like, let me just go ahead and get everything all squared away. And then already on my way there, Jay texts me and says, do you have a steamer? And I said, I can just get one. I go get a steamer. So I went to Target, went to go get a steamer. And then that morning, I don't even remember what time I got there. I started steaming the clothes and the gowns. And so, and he was still getting everybody fitted that morning. And then I was like, do you need breakfast? And he said, no, I'm good. I said, you don't want to eat? He goes, no. I'm like, no, you should probably eat because he hasn't rested yet.
Yeah.
Because he just arrived, during a rehearsal.
Yes, he had just arrived the night before. And so he was trying to get something to eat real quick, but he wanted coffee. So we just got him all squared away. And then that night, I thought, well, let me just go ahead and just start bringing some stuff down. So I started bringing racks down. And then she goes, I want to go right here. I said, okay, we'll go right here. And then just like the dress rehearsal, everyone was telling me where their stuff was and where their clothes were. And that worked out perfectly. I thought it worked out perfectly. And I think it went very smoothly because everyone knew what they were supposed to get. Everyone knew what color they were. Everyone knew where they were supposed to line up. So it went really, really well. And then I found myself assisting the models of other designers, right?
Charles.
So, yeah. So I was like, okay, well, that's no big deal because I think they just saw me standing there, helping with the hangers and zipping and unzipping and all that stuff.
No, I think you saw us struggling to put some costumes on. It's like, can you
Yeah.
and you're like, you all need help.
And not only that, I noticed some of these models, they're very excited, and they don't care. As in, okay, I'm going to take this off.
Right in the middle. I'm like, no, go right here. Right. They were just right in the middle of the floor, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was good.
But it was very tiring.
You know what? Honestly, I didn't really feel tired until the end because I think that's when everything stopped.
Yeah.
Right? When you had a moment to stop and think, you're like, oh gosh, that really was a lot. But it
It
wasn't that
was,
bad.
yeah, you don't feel it at the
You
moment.
don't.
You,
No.
just like me, when I gathered reports, especially in the Philippines, like, when there's a stabbing incident, shooting incident, I don't feel that nervousness or anything like, oh, what is gonna do,
Yeah.
the stress.
It's your,
But
yeah, it's your adrenaline
you
rush
feel,
Yes.
like I'm tired after the event.
after.
And you really
Yeah.
have that grace, one good thing about Ivy, that grace and composure. She's very relaxed. That's
Yeah.
why when you have
Thank
that
you.
kind of attitude, because when people see you like, oh, she's so stressed, she's very annoyed, she has all these, moods, everybody is also going to feel that. And
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
not good. That's why when there's pressure in every event, you stay calm.
Mhm.
In that way,
Yes.
everybody will just enjoy. And not only that, the
Yeah.
purpose of a fashion show is to enjoy, to have a
Enjoy.
good
Hmm.
time. And so everybody just, you just have to go with the flow and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Agree. I agree. Yeah. So that
So,
was a very fun event. I actually enjoyed it, and enjoyed watching everybody that day and that night. You know, and it was seeing the smiles, right? Because we knew that some of our models were affected by cancer, right? And so watching their smiles on their face, feeling like they're the most beautiful person there, right? Really meant a lot to them. So that meant a lot to me to watch
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
them smile. So if the littlest thing I can do is just put a pin on you just to make sure that your outfit was just an inch, you know, shorter so you don't trip, or making sure that, you had an extra bow on there, or that your hair fell properly on your shoulders, or making sure that you didn't have like one hair standing up there, and it made you feel confident walking on that stage. That meant more to me watching you smile and be confident on there because of our models. A lot of them were, and
Mhm.
that's how I found out that a lot of them were
Mm-hmm.
affected by cancer.
Yeah.
So that meant a lot to me
Well,
to
I
see them
hope you're going to
smile.
model this year.
I'll try. I'll try.
Yeah.
And
Have you built that confidence now this year since last year? Like, oh, maybe I'm not ready. Now you're ready.
I think I think I'll try. I'll do one run probably, but I
Yeah.
actually enjoy. I actually like helping people, right? So it's kind of like the nature of my job. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just watching someone else
Yeah.
smile. So to me, like I said, I will. You can do all the singing, and I'll be your backup dancer. I'll be your help in the background to make sure you shine.
Oh, wow. What a good person you are. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about your cancer
Mhm.
journey. What happened after the FACC fashion show?
Wow. Whew. Okay. After FACC, I went to go see the doctor for, I had a little bit of bleeding, and I went to make an appointment to see the doctor. So I had a procedure, and the cells and tissues from that procedure they submitted, only to find out at the beginning of November, I was diagnosed with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was a little hard for me to take, and it's still hard for me to talk about sometimes, but I think it's important to
Mhm.
share because everyone should know, um, just for their awareness and for their own education, some things that they
Yeah.
need to do, right? So for me it was just, hey, this doesn't seem normal. Let's go and get this checked out, and sure enough, that's what I did. I went to go get it checked out. um, they sent it to pathology. I found out I had endometrial cancer. The doctors wanted to do surgery right before Christmas. And I thought, you know what? I don't know how this is going to turn out. I kind of want to have Christmas with my family alone first, and then we can tackle this after the new year.
Mm-hmm.
So after the new year, I ended up having a total hysterectomy, um, and to include lymph nodes, just to make sure that there wasn't anything straggling along or hiding
Yeah.
somewhere, because I didn't want to revisit this again, or keep revisiting it again. So hopefully, as of now, I get followed up every 6 months. So I had that hysterectomy done in January. At that same time, I was having kidney stones shortly after I had my surgery. 2 weeks after that, I found out that I am only operating on one kidney. So my left kidney is essentially non-functional. And my right kidney is actually the one that's doing all the work. And I did not know any of that until after my surgery. But, fast forwarding to now, right? I have to be able to separate those feelings, right? And say, I was given another chance. I have to say, you know what? I've given another chance to make someone else smile. I've been given another chance to live. I've been given another chance to make things better. So here I am, right? You had asked me in November to become a part of your FACC family. And I said yes, but I wasn't sure how I was going to handle all of this. So now I want to say I'm all in and I'm ready to do all of this hand in hand, arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder, toe to toe with all of you together for the Filipino American Cancer Care.
Wow.
And I'm ready. I'm ready to serve. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Wow. Okay, so and we are
Thank
very
you.
grateful. I'm sorry. I always,
yes,
I teared up most of the time when I hear this Emrich because
Yeah.
just like Ivy, okay? I'm also dealing with this and I'm actually going to have this done also in June and I'm going to have another surgery by the end of the year. But we're here to serve. And our life on earth is not about ourselves. It's the purpose of our life is to be of service to others. Of course, we have to take care of ourselves, right? And we're doing
Right.
that. But what makes you feel good also is to be of service to others. Well, during that first time, that moment that you found out you have that big C, what was it like for you?
Wow, that was that really hit me hard. That was really tough to swallow because that was not expected at all. You kind of sit there and you wonder, is this really, is it mine? Did they get this mixed up? What is the plan now? What do we do? I've got kids. Granted, they're adults, but they're still my kids. I have a husband. I have a mom, who I'm helping to take care of. I have work. I have things that I need to get done. And that was really hard. And it put a lot of things into perspective for me. It's a lot of things. Not that I didn't have my family first, but you always knew that living in this area, you needed a family with an income, right? So at that point, I just kind of, I wanted to make sure my family was taken care of. Let's go figure out, option A, option B, option C. Let's just figure this out. I was off. Fortunately, I was able to be off for almost 6 weeks so I could recover. And I think they would have given me more if I wanted to, but I think I got kind of bored at home. But it really made me think about life. It made me really think about what my purpose was. It made me really think about what can I do to make things better? Not just for me, but for other people. What can I do to help, my neighbor, my kababayan? What can I do to help my, a stranger even, if they needed something?
Yeah.
And this really hit home because the timing of the fashion show, the timing of Josie asking me, the timing of my diagnosis, to me, I felt like that was a sign, to realign and reset my life to become a better person and to serve, or to serve even more.
So how did you feel at that time?
Oh gosh, confused. I
Yeah.
was, you feel confused, you feel lost. You sometimes you didn't know where to turn because
Mhm.
there's you don't know who's in the same shoes as you because no one ever really talked about it. You
Mm-hmm.
never really, no one shows you that that's what's going on. And then, I mean, the only people, I'll be honest with you, probably after today, more people will know what's going on because I haven't really quite told a lot of people what was going on because I still don't know how to discuss it. I still don't know how to handle the conversation objectively because I feel like subjectively it's still
Mhm.
very fresh in my
Mm-hmm.
mind and in
That's
my
right.
heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I'm still learning how to handle those conversations. And I do feel like the more and more I talk about it, the more I feel like it's better to educate,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, the general public. It's better to educate everybody.
Yeah.
You know your body. You know what feels right and what doesn't feel right. And if it doesn't feel right, be seen. Make sure you see somebody because you you'll never know what you know what could happen. So if you know that something doesn't feel right, and it's that very same saying, if you see something, do something, say something, right?
Yeah.
So you are your own body's advocate, so you have to know
Yeah.
what feels right for you. So I encourage
That's
everyone, if
right.
something doesn't seem right, you know no one else knows how you're feeling, no one else knows what your body's going through except for you. So
That's right.
you have to be an advocate for yourself and say, hey, I need to be seen, or hey, I need this checked out.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask you, how was your husband and your children's reaction?
My husband was very strong. He tries to be
Yeah.
very strong, and I know it really hurt him a lot because he we both didn't know what would become our situation. I didn't know if I'm still going to be working this time. I didn't, May 12th, I didn't know if I'm going to be working May 19th. I don't know if I'm going to be working. I don't know, at the time if I was going to still have a job or if I have to be home, if, what was going to happen. My kids, they they are they're strong kids, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it really affected them too. I mean, it's one of those things where, okay, we have to be strong together as a family, and then you're holding each other's hands, and then there are moments where, like I would drive, or I would be in the car with my family, and I would just have a moment where I
Yeah.
would sit back and reflect on my life, and I'm like, wow, I was really diagnosed with cancer, and this is tough to stomach because I guess I never really thought that I would ever, because I never really had a family history of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or not that I know of. I don't know anyone in my family that's had this history of cancer. So you kind of sit back and think it hits you at the most weirdest times. You're in the car and you're singing in the car, and all of a sudden you have a flashback of a thought that you had back in November, and
Yeah.
and then it changes your mood completely. Or you're in the grocery store and you're buying food and you're standing in line waiting to pay for your groceries, and then you just have a moment, and
Right.
that, to me, um and I think that happens to them too, because sometimes when I come home, my children, they just come and they just like give me like the longest hug. And
Yeah.
I know, then that they had a moment,
Right.
when all they want to do is just come by the house and just hug you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you don't even have to talk. You already know what
Yeah.
went through their mind. So that was hard. I have two dogs. The funny thing is, I think they know.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Of
They can
course.
sense, they
Yeah.
can
Oh
sense
yeah.
that,
Mm-hmm.
they were both around me more than normal.
What kind of
Like
dogs do you have?
I have two. I have one is an American Bulldog, and then the other one is an American Bulldog mix. And I don't know what the mix is because we adopted this dog from Pet Finders.
Yeah.
So so yes, they're bigger than me. But yes, so
Wow.
so even the dogs know, they sense this, you know, and there has been studies that show that, you know, your animals know,
Oh yeah.
you know, so
Before you
they
even
know.
know.
Yes, yes, and I looking back in hindsight, I really do think they sensed something because I do remember, like my dogs, they have their bed in our bedroom, and so it's on the other side of the bedroom. But oddly enough, it's weird that they didn't sleep in their they haven't been sleeping in their bed since I think around late summer.
Mm.
So they've been
Mm.
sleeping like on my side of the bed, but on the foot of the bed on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like they know it's and maybe they knew before I did, and I just didn't really realize those signs. But yeah, so
Yeah.
the whole family, you know, I know that they have moments, and that's how I know when they have moments is when they give you that extra long hug, and you know,
Yeah.
it's just they just want to hug.
Mm-hmm. So
So
what stage are you in?
so so right now, so when they first diagnosed me, I was actually in the early stages.
Which
So
is a
it
good
was, I
thing.
think, Fido grade 1, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
stage 1. And so that so then that was the whole decision to do a total hysterectomy to include the lymph
Mhm.
nodes. So of
Mm-hmm.
course, when they were doing the surgery, they didn't know what stage it was then. They just were trying to just capture what they can capture, and then
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hopefully not have to revisit it. So knock on wood right now. Um, I just have to get my follow-ups every 6 months for that.
Yeah.
Where are you now in your cancer journey?
Right now, just as far as myself, I'm sort of like in a holding status. I'm just in a follow-up status right now. But as far as my cancer journey, for everybody, I would like, I mean, for me, I like to educate everybody, and then I also want to help everybody. So, however many people I can help, however many smiles I can put, however much money we can raise for our cancer cancer participants or cancer our cancer recipients,
Mhm.
that's where I am with my journey, is to make things better
Mm-hmm.
for them.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm actually right now I'm okay. I'm sort of like in a holding status right now, until my follow up this
Mm-hmm.
summer.
So you don't
But
have chemotherapy
no,
or
not at least
medication
not right,
or
at least not right
medication.
now. Yeah, at least not right now.
Uh-huh. Are they planning
So
to put you in a medication or no?
I think that would depend on my follow ups. I think they're
Mm,
just
every
kind of
6 months.
every 6 months.
Well, you
So
know
my
what? That's a good thing. You were able
It's
to catch it at an early stage and you're not,
without, yeah.
you're not taking any medications, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah. So in that aspect, I do feel like I lucked out that way because
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
um you know
Because you went, and that's the thing. That's what's important of what your message earlier. You didn't feel something is not right, so you went to the doctor
mhm,
and you caught it right early on, and your decision every step of the way, your doctors agree with you, and it seems like they caught all of them, and then they're gonna
yes.
do a follow-up.
Mhm,
That's a really, really good messaging for our listeners and viewers, because that's sometimes, I mean, even myself, before I make that call for doctor's appointment, I always think it's like, oh, I know it's gonna be waiting, or the appointment's not gonna be available. But hey, you know what? Make the call anyway. Set up that
mhm.
appointment anyway, right?
mm-hmm,
Agree,
So
yeah.
agree. Because you can always cancel it if you had to, but if you feel if there's something that's already bothering you in the back of your mind, you know, and it bothers you all day long, then that's your sign to say, you know what, I really need to get this checked out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Wow. Thank you
You
for sharing that.
Yeah.
yeah, and you know what?
You're welcome.
Sharing your story actually can save another person's life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's our goal is
And
to
every cancer is unique for every individuals, right? And
correct.
so as many really, if our survivors or speaks up, kind of guide everyone who's healthy, or we think we're healthy, um to about the symptoms, the signs, or whatever, like what you said, listen to your body, get an appointment, get to the doctor if you feel something not right on you. So
Mm-hmm.
I think we would save a lot of lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ivy, during those times that, when you're diagnosed with cancer, you always have that, of course, you're
Mhm.
trying to fight that mental health crisis, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to your friends or family members, what did they say or do that meant the most to you?
Wow. It all started with I love you
Mm,
from my husband, my kids, I love you, mommy. My mom, I love you. It's okay. My brother
mm,
is I love you. It's gonna be okay. You know, and I know, in the back of your mind, and of course being as a nurse, um everyone's gut reaction is to say it's gonna be okay. I love you, it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
okay. But you really knew the tone and the voice when it's very, very sincere, right?
Mm-hmm.
right.
When they say I love you, it's gonna be okay. Um, that was that was the most meaningful part because then I felt like, okay, I have a support. I really do have a support behind me. I really do
Right.
have people here to help me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then um my you know I do have to credit my supervisors, my leadership at work,
Yeah.
because they were probably one of the most busiest time during the holiday. We're short staff, because it was November, right? November to January.
Mm-hmm.
We're the most shortest staff because everyone wants to go on vacation, or and that's when everything happens, when you're the most shortest staff. I really had the support of my leadership and my supervisors. That also really meant a lot to me. And my coworkers were like, it's okay, take care of yourself. The job will always be here, right? So those little words of encouragement, those little words of, you know, we can do this, sort of like we can do this together. We're going to be here. I'm here if you need me. My coworkers are even saying, just call me if you want to go to a happy hour, or if you want to go and grab something to eat, or if you need me to bring something to you. Those little things meant a lot, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But through it all, also, I also have to remember that I have people inside my own very house who I also have to be mindful of their mental status as well, right? Because I know that it was hard for my husband. You can see it on his. He doesn't talk much. You'll when you see him, you'll see he's a
Yeah,
very quiet.
I
He's
met
a very
him.
quiet guy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's a very quiet guy. But you can see he thinks a lot. He's a very thorough thinker.
Mhm.
And so when he found out that I was diagnosed with cancer, I can already hear and see his brain working. Okay, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen? You know, are we going to be able to? Do we need to move? Are we gonna stay here? Do we need to? What are we gonna do? Am I gonna continue working? Do I need to stay home? And then my son also had just had his first job, right? And so he's he's faculty at a school, and
Mm.
so I think one day he actually had to vent to one of his coworkers, and just let it all out. And I know it's hard for him, because he's never had to deal with anything like this before, you know,
Yeah.
just being in your early 20s and realizing that your mom was diagnosed with cancer,
Mm-hmm.
isn't exactly what he was planning in his, early 20s life, you know. And I'm sure he was probably thinking, okay, what are we going to do? What do we have to do? And the thought that they were all thinking of, pulling together and making sure everything is going to be okay, that really meant a lot to me. So for everybody, know that you're not by yourself. There is a support person there, and you probably have more than one there to support you. It's just a matter of reaching out to your support people and just letting them know, hey, you know what, I think I might need a little bit of help. And that's okay, and my family let me know that that was okay.
Yeah.
So that meant a lot to me.
Very good.
All right. Thank you so much, Ivy, for sharing your time and story with us tonight.
Yeah, thank you,
And
Ivy.
you know what?
You're welcome.
I think I'm going to interview you again on my other radio show because I
Okay.
still have a lot of questions for you. But, we are so grateful for everything that you have done last year during our fashion show. And we have this upcoming fashion show again
Mhm.
on October 28,
Yes.
2023. And we are so happy that you're part of the Filipino American Cancer Care. That's why, Emrich, I was like telling everybody, I hope we can have 15, 20, 35 of IV in the FACC. Because I saw it.
Yes.
I saw how she was working so hard. She did not even complain. Managing people with different personalities and attitudes.
Yeah. And the other thing too is when because I remember when we were at the back, you were sharing some ideas how to do this, do that, put this here so that it's more functional um in the area. And then it was right because it was right on point because when the show is about to start, we got to be organized. Otherwise, we were, yeah,
Mhm.
it scattered all over the place. So, you voice out your opinion, and it was on point.
And we need
Thank
that,
you.
we
Yeah,
need that opinions and we need those comments.
yeah.
It's a learning experience for
Yeah.
us. And again, Ivy, thank you so much. Would you like to say something again? We still have 2 minutes and 55 seconds.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I do. At first, I want to say thank you, Josie, um, for inviting me and asking me to be a part of your family with the Filipino American Cancer Care. Amy Rich, thank you so much for joining us, and I appreciate everything that you've done. I love, love, love your fire and spirit when it comes to volunteering. You do a lot of volunteering, and I had no idea. And I just want to say for everybody out there who's going through this, or even if you've never been through this, just keep in the back of your mind that if something doesn't feel right, always remember, get that checked out. Be seen. If you see something, say something and do something about it. Um, and always be there for the next person. Please be there for the next person. Um, your neighbor, your family, a stranger. Be there, and through it all, just we're here. We're here for each other. We're here to serve. Let's just make it a happier place for all of us.
Mhm. Thank you so
Very
much. And
nice.
you, Emerich?
No, thank you so much, Ivy, for being with us today. And now you're part of our family of FACC family. Really
Yay.
excited about it.
Mhm.
Um, I can't wait to see you in person once again. And to you too, Ati Josie. Thank you all so much for all of our
Mhm.
listeners. as well, and supporters for the most recent fundraising that we had. So really, really appreciative. Appreciate those things.
And this year, we're going to have 3 fashion designers. Jay Lyson and Carl Andrada are coming back, but we also have another one from the Philippines. Can you believe that, Ivy, right now, there are so many people that are asking that, they wanted to join the fashion show. They look forward to it. And we are so happy that a lot of people are supporting us, and also the kids. They're going to, they're going to be a part, and anybody, kahit na lolo at lola, pwedeng sumali para sa ating fashion show this coming October at Marriott Hotel in Falls Church, Virginia. Thank you so much again, everyone, for being with us dito po sa PHLV Radio in Las Vegas. On the air with FACC.
Thank you.
American
Thank you.
Cancer Care. Bye!